Hi cuties, it's time to get super nerdy and do my very first Q1 recap. And I say first, meaning like I've never done a recap like this before, but I thought it'd be a good way to keep me accountable for all of those goals I said I was gonna do in 2021, and just to be super nerdy because I love stats, and I think it comes with the territory of being a book nerd. Is you have to be a nerd about stats too. So if you're the type that likes to track your reading, not all book nerds do, but the type that track it, and I think a lot of the people on BookTube, I think we're the type that really loves stats. I don't know. Do you love stats? Because I really love stats. Anyway, let's talk about stuff. This is giant planner folder of everything we need to go to January through March. This planner design, by the way, these papers are all designed by Cat Leo Writing. They can be available on her Etsy page. She literally just announced on her stream that I'm watching right now that she might be doing a POD, a print-on-demand version of these through Amazon, which is very exciting. So I had 4 goals. There's always 4 goals for the beginning of the quarter, and we're gonna see, did I complete them? Goal number 1 was edit HISFACAC, Humane Society for Creatures and Cryptids, which is one of my works in progress right now. I did not totally finish this. I'm still working on it. I made some progress. I did not finish. Goal number 2, do the audiobook for the Ashboard Archives Book 1. Goal number 3, Book 4, edits of Ashboard Archives, and yes, I did it. I completed this one. You can see me complete this in my giant week-long video. It's a very long video. It's not a week long. The video's not, but I filmed all week long. Anyway, I completed my developmental edits of that there, and now it's off to the editor. And goal number 4 was to save money for Japan and extra funds for future moving. I wanted to save about $1,000. I actually did it. So I completed half of the big goals for the quarter recap. I did do little goals for each one. Okay, I will say I finished my TBR for every single month. So there's that. And I met my money savings goal for each month. I don't want to bore you with each one, but there was a lot of not completing goals. We'll say that. So I'm gonna take you over. I don't know if you guys knew, but I made, oh, I don't think I can take you over. Hold on. We're gonna take you off. Take you off the ring light there. We're gonna go all the way over here. So I made these, my 2021 goals posters, and I made them like bookshelves. And they're very long because there's a lot of them here. Let's go through it. Did I do anything for the Michelle trip? No. Did I do anything for mental health? I said I did my Q1 check. I don't want to go into that. I checked myself. How about that? The remodel for my parents, I haven't done anything. Japan, I have not done anything. I've been saving money, but I didn't actually do my budget yet, so I can't actually cross that off. Recipes from my mom, I have started. I've gotten like 3, so I'm counting. 1 book done. Secret Project was done. That was the full release of the Ashford Archives book trailer. That is done. Working on my platforms and stuff? Nope. Moving money, again, I've technically saved a bit, but I haven't actually budgeted what that would look like, so there's that. Thumbnails. I did a little bit of research. I did discover one thing that I was looking for in my thumbnail stuff, so there's that. Learning how to change a tire, I've done nothing. HISFACAC, I've done a third of the book. The third of it's done, of my developmental edits. So, and technically I have 4, almost 5 chapters done of the proofs. So there's that. Ashport, the developmental edits are done. We're working through the proofs now. Audiobook, I did make my space for it, which you can see I've actually upgraded recently. So I have my little sound booth. I have a stand for it that I can bring out, even though I'm going to leave it there forever now because it's stuck in between these. So there's that. I did record the prologue. So there's that. I actually probably could color in another thing there. The desk building have done nothing. My cooking show, I have done 3 episodes. My 100 books goals, I have read over 40 books. Actually, I think in this quarter we're going to talk about it. I've read 41. For my fuck all days, I have done 3 in the first quarter. Typewriter I've done absolutely nothing with. Hispicak 2 I've done absolutely nothing with. Daily entries, I did in fact do an entry every single day so far, and weight loss we're not even gonna bother. But those are the goals. Let me set you back up. There's the 2021 goals. Hooray. So that's my check-in there. I think I've made some decent progress. Little tiny bits of progress, but there's one thing completed, and that was mostly because Hala pushed me, and she did most of the work. But it's done. Let's get super nerdy, because this is mostly a booktube channel, as we all know. Let's talk about them book stats. I don't even know how I'm gonna start this. Let's talk about my totals. Let's talk about the totals. So 3 months, I read 41 books in 3 months. Not bad. This actually seems lower than what it is, but I read 15,370 books, and I listened to 254 hours of audiobooks, which like feels like it's not as much, but I guess each month I was reading under 100 hours and a few thousand. I guess, yeah, it does calculate. I don't know why it feels like it's low. My average rating for quarter 1 was 3.66 stars. Not bad. If I break it down, my best reading month was probably January. I rated an average 3.73. February was 3.72, and March was my lowest rated month so far with 3.53. On average, it took me about 4.44 days to read one book. I read 21 audiobooks, 19 physical books. 12 of those were hardcover and 7 of those were paperback. I did 0 ebooks in total. That's actually a pretty close between audiobook and physical book. Normally I read like a bunch more audiobooks, but I'm doing pretty even on those. I'll also break down as well. I read 15 books both in January and March, and only 11 in February. So there's that. 28 books I read were in a series, and 13 of those were solo books. So okay. I really want to read more solos. I don't know why. I'm kind of getting overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed by series. If we're breaking down the series stuff, 17 of those were the first book in a series. 7 of those were sequels or the second books. And 1 of them was a third book, 1 was a 4th, and 1 was a 6th of series. I have completed 4 series now on my TBR, not necessarily within the quarter 1, but I've read conclusions of series, 4 of them. So there's that. If we look at it by publication date, I've definitely read the most of 2019 books. I read 2 2021 books, 6 2020 books, 13 2019, 7 2018, 4 2017, 3 2016, 2 2015, then we jump to 2012 with 2, and then we do big jumps to 2001 with 1, and 1995 with 1, if you care to know. Let's talk a bit about the genres that I read. I read 17 fantasy books, no surprise there, 6 sci-fi books, 5 historical fiction, 10 contemporaries, 2 mystery thrillers, and 1 nonfiction. If we break those down into genres, I did 6 urban fantasies, 2 high fantasies, 1 magical realism, 1 humor. I didn't know what to qualify it as. It's kind of a high fantasy, but it's a comedy fantasy book. Anyway, 3 adventures, 3 romances, and 1 mystery fantasy. Breaking down sci-fi, we did 2 surreals, 1 romance, sci-fi romance kind of thing, and 3 dystopians. Historical fiction, we did 2 fantasy, 2 steampunk, and 1 poetry. With contemporary, we did 1 speculative, 8 romance, and 1 literary. So those are the kind of genre breakdowns, and I realized I didn't do an age group one, so I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is how many adult versus YA versus middle grade that I read. I also did 1 graphic novel. I think I did 1 anthology of short stories. So, I don't know. Pretty good stuff, but that's my book stats. That's my nerdy book stats. I think I would have to say that my quarter 1 went pretty good. It could have gone better. I definitely was in some slumpy moods for both reading and for writing. Mental health could have gone better. I could have done a lot of different things differently, but you know what? We can't change the past, so we're moving forward into quarter 2. Let's talk about my quarter 2 stuff, okay? So, quarter 2. Come here, planner. You can come back now. I'm sorry I threw you. 4 goals. We are working to finish both Ashport and Histocac. I just wrote finish books and record the audiobook for Ashport. I have a tracker thing for it. We're doing this. I'm gonna begin the remodel of my parents' house. I'm gonna at least start planning and possible implementation of remodel. We're gonna start probably with the bathrooms. Number 3, we're gonna talk about more weight loss stuff and actually do the things I'm supposed to do. So there's that. Goal number 4 is Michelle. We're gonna try to visit Michelle this quarter, probably not till the end of the quarter. So maybe by June, but I also need to talk with Michelle more about that. So those are my 4 big goals this quarter. If we're just talking about April, I can talk about those a bit. We're going to get the Histocac edits done. We're going to record the audiobook. Again, we're saving money. We're going to plan the Kickstarter for book 4 of Ashport. I'm going to talk to my doctor. We're going to research for the remodel, and I'm going to buy the tickets. Those are my quarter 2 big goals. I may sprinkle in some more things like continuing getting the recipes, might do the tire change, I don't know, but those are the big ones that we're gonna focus on. Other ones may trickle their way in, but yeah, that's what I'm doing there. So we're gonna go back here. I didn't actually mention of the 2021 reads, so I've marked them, the ones, oh, I don't know if you guys can see. So here are all the books that I said in the beginning of the year that I wanted to read this year, and I color them in once I've completed them. So I've done quite a few. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of the 2021s. The 21 of 2021. Plus I included some sequels because I did continue like Renegades, Cruel Prince, Sabriel, Well Played or Well Met. So I'm including them because I am continuing those series as we go, but I'm not forcing myself to read them. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more books of 2021 that I said I wanted to read in 2021. That's not bad. And then I kind of wanted to talk about some anticipated releases that are going to be coming out. So I went through and I've written a bunch. Like I have pages. Ooh, you can't see them yet. Focus. I have a long list. That's just April of my anticipated releases for 2021. So I'm just going to tell you my number one anticipated release for each month. For April, I think the one that I'm really feeling that I want to read the most is going to be Sister Song by Lucy Holland, which is actually already out. It came out April 1st, but I don't own it yet. And there's the beautiful cover. As I'm writing Histocac and stuff, I'm really into sister stories and things, and this one just looks beautiful and gorgeous and kind of right up my alley. I believe it is a historical fiction fantasy kind of thing, but I'm just excited. I can't tell you much about it because I honestly don't remember much about the plot. I just remember the feeling of when I first put it on this list and was like, I want that. So let's look at May. I didn't decide these ahead of time. I literally thought of doing this while filming. So here we go. So for May, I have a lot on here, but I'm probably most excited for Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. It's his newest sci-fi book, and I'm very excited. It comes out May 4th, and I'm so excited. It's another kind of like, he says it's going back to his roots in The Martian, but instead of it being an actual astronaut in peril and alone, it's just a scientist. So there's going to be more real science in it that he said he did extensive research for, and I'm excited. I really like Andy Weir's writing. All right, let's go to June. There's 2 front runners here, but I think I am most excited for My Contrary Mary by the Lady Janies, Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Joni Meadows. This is their new continuation. So they did the trilogy of Jane's, and now they've gone to Mary's, and this one actually will go back into the world of My Lady Jane, which was so funny, and I can't wait for this. I believe, if I remember correctly, in My Lady Jane, Mary, Queen of Scots, turns into a mouse. I think that's the shape-shifting thing, because it's a shape-shifting scenario, and it's if you haven't read these books, guys, they are so funny. I highly recommend the audiobooks. That one comes out June 22nd. And yeah, I'm definitely the most excited for that book. Here's my check-in. I'm holding myself accountable. How do you think I'm doing? Do you think I should be gearing it up more? Granted, I do have a full-time job where I work like 50 to 60 hours a week. Fun stuff. What did you guys do in your quarter one? Even if you didn't really get anything done, did you make some progress? How do you feel about it? What do you want to do to improve your quarter two? What are your quarter two goals? Just tell me everything. Tell me your stats, because I'm a nerd for it. If you make a video like this, let me know, because I really like recap videos like this. I'm nerdy like that. What can I say? Absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna go away now. Catch me in the comments below, or on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter. You can also catch me on Twitch. In theory, I stream on Wednesdays, but I have not done that in a bit, and I won't be for a bit because work, but there's that. You can also support me on my Ko-fi page. I have a shop there, and if you just want to support me as a content creator, I don't know what all these arms are, but you can make me stop doing this arm movement by buying me a coffee. Not really, it's a hot chocolate on mine, but I promise I'll stop doing this arm movement if you go there right now, ko-fi.com/Stephanie Gillis, and I'll stop doing this arm movement. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go now, okay, cuties, bye! I'm still doing it. Go get me a Ko-fi and I'll stop. All the videos coming up are gonna be this motion. And she literally just announced